Hey y'all, welcome back to L&L Honeycomb Homestead. Today is Sunday, and you know what that means. It is Sunday dinner. And guess who's cooking again? L. But only thing is, he won't be showing you this time. This time, I'm going to be showing you how to make some homemade bread for beginners. So if you're interested in watching that video, please stay tuned. And also, I'll have the recipe on the bottom of the description if y'all want to know how I made this bread. And you will see L in the making, but we won't be knowing what he's fixing until the end. Okay, until then, y'all have a good night or a good day. What this mix looks like. Okay, so I have the dry. Now I'm going to add the wet. And then with the wet here, you're going to mix. You're going to whisk it pretty good, you know, and get it good and stir it up in there so that way the yeast can dissolve. And then you're going to let it sit for a good 10 to 15 minutes before you proceed to the next step, and then I'll show you that. And while we're sitting here talking, say hello, L.
Hello, people.
He's over here cooking again while I'm whipping up the bread because I'm going to show y'all how I'm doing this bread. We ain't going to worry about what he's cooking because you already know it's going to be good, and he got secret ingredients. That's something that I don't even know about. So I'm just going to go back to what I'm doing as far as showing y'all how to make this bread. So, yeah, this is Sunday's dinner. So anyway, like I said, 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to have to let this rest. And before we go with the next steps, okay? Okay, so for the following ingredients, you're going to have 3 to 4 cups of all-purpose flour in the mix of this liquid. So you're going to do that. And then the next steps you're going to add to it, you're going to have 2 teaspoons of sea salt, 3 teaspoons of EVOO, that's virgin olive oil, and 1 egg, and that's going to be for the egg wash. And until we come back, I'm going to show you the next step. With this procedure, you're going to start your blender on whatever setting it is for mixing. Mine says 2. It needs to be on a 2. So whatever your mixer is saying, it needs to be on 2 for mixing. And I'll show you the next step. So with it going through its kneading stage, which is mixing, it's going to knead this dough. And your goal is to make sure that all the flour and the mixture is clean. You want your whole thing clean around the edges of this mixing container. And you don't want a sticky, tacky type consistency. And if it is, you want to add another cup of flour, but you're going to do it gradually. You're going to mix it in there a little, you know, just a little bit. Just a little bit. So you see how it is? I was trying to clean it up a little bit. You want it to continue on doing that. You don't want it to be sticking it nowhere. That extra flour is the one that you are holding off on. So you're going to use 3 to 4 cups of flour. It's asking for 5 cups, but you're going to put 3 to 4 in there. I put 4 already in there, and I have a cup right here because we're going to have this mixture in it because it's going to be sticky, and I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Lift this up. It's hard to do it with one hand. Hold on. Okay, so you see that sticky? You don't want it to be sticky like that. You don't want it to stick to your fingers like that, okay? So here you're going to add a little bit more flour. little bit. And that's going to help it get not sticky, because you don't want it to be sticky. Okay. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more flour to this. So let's keep it going. Because you want the sides to be clean. And you can stop it along the way so that way you can check the consistency. And if it's still sticky, just add a little bit more flour to it. And this is what it should look like. Now that that step is completely over, it's pretty much clean around the sides, you want to take your dough and you want to take this and put it on a surface on your counter with a little bit of flour, and I'll show you the next step from that. So at this point, when you take it out of the mixer and you have the flour on the counter, you want to continue to knead for about 5 minutes. Okay, and then after the 5 minutes, you want to shape it into a nice circular ball. Circular ball. I said bowl, but I meant ball. Okay, and you want to have you a bowl that has a little bit of oil in it. And then you want to put that in there. And then you want to put a towel over it and let it rest till it gets ready to rise. Okay. Now that you got the towel over it, now you're going to let it rest for 25 minutes. And I'll show you what you do after that. Okay, now that the time is up, you want to get a cookie sheet and you want to put some parchment paper on it. Okay, so that's going to be your next step after it has, the dough has, dinged your 30 minutes up. Then we're going to put this parchment paper on your cookie sheet, and now I want to show you what we're going to have to do now. So this right here, you're going to take this off. You're going to see that the dough has rose. And you're going to get it out of there. You want to get that big bubble up out of there by punching it. And it's going to be down like this. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is take it out of the bowl, like so. And you're going to knead it out too. Not knead it, but you want to shape it like a rectangle. And I'm going to show you what that looks like here in a second, because my camera angle is not showing y'all. So I'm going to show you what it looks like so you'll know what I'm talking about here in a second. You want to shape it just like a rectangle. It's going to be easy to do when you see. Okay, I'm going to show you. Okay, at this point, it's going to look like a square, rectangle, or that type of shape. Okay. Now, not everybody has all your bread materials or whatever else like that. You can use a dough cutter, but if you don't have one, you can use a pizza cutter. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut it in thirds. So you're going to go just like this. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And this is how you want it to be cut. Okay. And then I'm going to show you how you're going to roll this bread up. Okay. Okay, you're going to take your dough. You're going to take the ends, and you're going to roll the ends. You're going to roll it. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when you're going to roll it like you're doing a roll. You're going to roll it. And when you get it completely rolled, you're going to flip it over. you're going to see a line that's going to look sort of like this. You're going to see that line like this. So what you want to do is take that and you want to pinch the ends in that sense. You want to pinch it. That's gonna seal it, okay? And that's what's gonna seal that bread. Okay. And after you get it like that, like so, you want to take the ends and you want to tuck them. You want to tuck the ends in. And make sure you got this pinched down. And then I'm going to show you the next step. At this point, your dough should look rounded off like this, or even better, because mine don't never turn out looking the way it's supposed to. But if you can get it into the shape that it needs to be, somewhere into this like shape, then you're good. So the next thing you're going to do is get your pizza cutter if you don't have a score or anything like that. But you're not going to cut all the way through, but you're going to make you some slits. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. And then I'll show you the next step from that as well. Okay, at this point you want to have that, but you don't want to cut all the way down through your dough. So it should look like something like this. At this point you can start using your favorite toppings. You can use garlic, or you can use Italian, or you can use your oregano, or you can use a mixture of all three. Okay, and you want to sprinkle that on the top. You can use some shredded cheese or whatever. At this point, that's how you want your bread. If you wanted any kind of flavor to your bread, this is the time to do it. You're going to sprinkle on top. So I'm going to show you what mine look like. Now that you got the flavor that you want it to be and everything like this, now beforehand, that's when you can take your butter and put it over there and then put your seasoning on there, or you can just do it afterwards. And usually I do it afterwards. And then preheat your oven for 450, and we're going to put this in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. When you see a golden brown, and if it's brown around the edges and on the top, when it's golden brown, you don't want it to be doughy or anything like that. If you don't see any of that, then you just keep it in there, but keep watch of it until it's golden brown. Okay, and I'll show you the finishing done. Voila, this is the bread. Now, like I had told you at the very end, what I like to do is melt some butter, have that already ready. When this is done, then you can pour it over the top. Make sure, if you want to make sure that your bread is done, when it's done baking, check the bottom and it'll have a hollow sound. If you get that hollow sound, that's when you know your bread is done. This right here kind of poofed out, but that's okay. It's because they're going to be 8. But at the end, if your bread has a hollow sound at the bottom of it, that lets you know that your bread is done. So what I do, I take my butter, I go ahead and melt that. That way it can be already ready. And I'll put that over the top. And that's what it's looking like. So I have me some garlic. I have me some Italian. And I also have me some oregano. And that's the type of bread that we having with our dinner. And I'm going to show you what Elle has. Elle has cooked us some baked mushroom, cream of mushroom, his way, and gravy, baked chicken. He has also cooked us some green beans with some potatoes. And he has also cooked us some corn, cream of corn and red corn mix with some butter. Like he say, butter. And that is our Sunday's dinner. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I'm glad you enjoyed the little process that we had today for our Sunday's dinner. Until then, y'all have a wonderful week that's coming up. And thank you for coming to L&L Honeycomb Homestead, and have a blessed day. Bye. Okay, so now we're going to try the bread. The one I grabbed was the onion. Or was it the garlic? Garlic bread.
I already had some. It's good.
Oh, y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that. He done tried it. It's good. He don't care what it looks like, even though it blew up on the side. It's gonna be 8 anyway. But this bread really is good. Y'all really need to try this recipe. Really try this recipe. Okay then. I'll talk to you later. Bye.